Hey there! Welcome to another 5-Minute Friday. It's been a while since I did one of these, so I wanted to get back on board with the first one of the new year. Grab your favorite pour and follow along with me as I cover my top 10 add-ons for Home Assistant. If you're unfamiliar with the format of this particular series, I start off by telling you about whatever fantastic rye happens to be in my glass, and then I do my damnedest to give you a whole bunch of valuable Home Assistant information, all in 5 minutes or less. My record so far isn't too bad. I think I'm batting about a 500 right now, so let's see if we can improve that with this episode. Alright, let's get that 5 minutes on the clock and get this show on the road. In the glass today, I've got a 10-year-old single barrel straight rye. Opened in 1753 under the name Shanks in Schaefferstown, Pennsylvania, the original distillery is a national landmark that, until it ceased operation in 1990, was the oldest distillery in the country. In 1861, the Shanks distillery was purchased by Abraham Baumberger, who changed the name to Baumberger's Distillery. Good old Abe lasted until Prohibition in 1919. After the 21st Amendment was passed on December 5th, 1933, the business bounced from owner to owner until 1975, when it was bought by a group of local businessmen and renamed to the brand that we all know and love today. When America's love affair with whiskey ended, the company filed for bankruptcy in May of 1983. In 1989, when the bankruptcy bond was never paid, ownership was transferred to the federal government, who ultimately shut the distillery down. The story doesn't end there, thankfully. In the early 90s, two fine gentlemen filed for the unused and abandoned trademark and resurrected the brand in Louisville, Kentucky, across the street from the Louisville Slugger Museum, where it remains to this day. The brand that I'm talking about, of course, is Michter's. Bottled in 2021 with an MSRP right around the $200 mark, this is a fine bottle to add to any collection. Though there are others that I do like better, and they even come in a few bucks less. But, as with all things whiskey right now, those bottles are even more difficult to find than this one. Alright, the Home Assistant stuff. Now, this is an alphabetical list, not a ranking, okay? Okay. First up is DNSmasq. This is a lightweight DNS server that you can use for internal DNS resolution. I used it to create an A record for the external FQDN of my Home Assistant server, so that it resolves to the internal IP from inside my network, so that I don't get certificate errors or have issues with the companion app when I'm switching from Wi-Fi to cellular or vice versa. DuckDNS comes in at number 2. This is a dynamic DNS name resolution service, but it also includes Let's Encrypt for certificates. It auto-renews certificates for you as well, so you don't have to worry about anything. This is a must-have if you're going to port forward traffic to your Home Assistant server. Number 3 on the list is HACS, or the Home Assistant Community Store. Now, while this technically might not be considered an add-on since it doesn't show up under add-ons, it's not included with Home Assistant, meaning that you have to add it, so that makes it an add-on to me. Of all the stuff on this list, this is probably the most important one, since this will give you access to a plethora of awesome integrations, add-ons, and front-end enhancements that you can easily download and install using the simple interface that HACS provides. If you don't have this, you need it. I made a video about how to add it, so look in the description for a link to that. Home Assistant Google Drive Backup is number 4 on the list. This awesome add-on automatically backs up your config and uploads it to a Google Drive so that you always have an offsite copy of your backups. If you're not backing up your Home Assistant server, why the hell not? I made a video about how to set this up, so I'll leave a link for that in the description too. Number 5 is Mosquitto Broker. This is a fantastic, lightweight add-on that installs Eclipse Mosquitto, which is an open source MQTT broker. MQTT is amazingly useful for lots of different things. I primarily use it for Blue Iris notifications, but I do use it for several other automations and integrations that I haven't discussed here on the channel yet. Coming in at number 6, Music Assistant is super slick and really deserves a video all of its own. It aggregates music from multiple sources including Plex, YouTube Music, Deezer, Spotify, and many others, and can play back that music to Chromecast, UPnP or DLNA players, AirPlay, and a lot of other stuff. My only complaint is that there are frequent changes that are made to it, and it seems like every time there's an update made, I have to reconfigure the Plex settings. However, the functionality, as far as music is concerned, is very similar to Plex, but it puts it all right in the Home Assistant dashboard for me, which means there's only a single pane of glass I need to look at to handle all my whole home audio needs, from changing sources, to volume, to media, to playlists, the whole nine. Number 7. Lucky number 7. Samba Share. This amazingly helpful little add-on allows you to access Home Assistant folders via SMB or CIF shares from your Windows machine. This makes configuration and adding stuff super simple. Number 8. Studio Code Server. Studio Code Server is basically Visual Studio Code, but for Home Assistant. You can sync to a Git repo, it'll auto-color your code for you, color your indents to make them easier to identify and make sure they're all lined up, all sorts of cool stuff. Not to mention that unless you want to pull your config file off and edit it in Notepad, you're going to need some way to modify configuration.yaml anyway, so... Sliding in at number 9 is Terminal and SSH. I like this since it opens an SSH window for me right in the dashboard, which has been invaluable for writing and testing shell scripts, and even for integrating my Vizio TVs when they didn't want to play nice on their own. Super useful. Rounding out the top 10 is Uptime Kuma. This add-on is very useful for monitoring internal systems. I use it to monitor my Plex server and my Blue Iris server. But not just, does this system respond to ping? Oh no! You can actually point it at specific web pages and make sure that you're getting the response that you expect to get, so you can ensure that the services are up, not just the operating system. Then you can display that uptime on the dashboard and take actions based on up or down status, like rebooting the server, for example. I made a video all about this add-on as well, so you know where to find that. I know I ran through those pretty quick, but I was trying to make the time limit. Oh well, better luck next time. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider joining my Patreon supporters over on patreon.com. All sorts of benefits are available there, ranging from downloadable code, to early access to ad-free videos, to access to the FHD Discord server, free t-shirts, and more. I'd like to take a minute and give all my current supporters a big thank you. Your support really does mean a lot to me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something new. If not about Home Assistant, then at least about Rye. I hope you liked this episode's t-shirt, and I hope you're enjoying the 5-minute fRYEday series. Thanks for watching, and until next time, go automate something, will ya?